Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday to my beautiful dancing unicorns. Welcome back, you guys, to AG University Podcast. It is I, lead dancing unicorn and professor at Anna Grace Newell on all major platforms. And I am so happy that we are here today. If you guys are catching me on YouTube, I'm recording a little bit towards the end of the day. Could lose light, could just be sitting in the dark by the time this podcast is over because holy moly, daylight savings, it gets me every year. Every year, I'm surprised how early and how dark it gets so fast. So, I always try to just record in my window with my little plants around me with some natural light, and I have no light set up. So by the end of this, I'm sitting in the dark. I'm just going to keep talking. One thing about me, still yapping. um, also, if you're catching me on YouTube, I'm wearing my certified, I almost said whore, it's horse, certified horse girl hat, not whore, horse, as in like a nay horse. My girl Sarah at Raw and Rebellious, she makes the funniest, just cutest hats. And this is a bright orange camo hat that says certified horse girl. I wish I grew up riding horses. It would be so much cooler if I did. Unfortunately, I didn't have any access to horses, but in my in my elder age of 31, my literal pipeline dream, I'll tell anyone who will listen to me, I'm like, I don't care about, like, it used to be about like I want to have money or this or that. I do not care. All I want is just a nice fluffy meadow with lots of grass and a beautiful horse or unicorn, I'd take either, to ride around on. And preferably, I'm cool enough at this point in my life where I can just bareback ride a horse and just be barefoot and free. Doesn't that just sound liberating? Just frolicking around in a meadow and like we lay down and just ground and look at the sky. I mean, that's my end game is to have, because let's be real, horses are expensive and there's a lot of upkeep there. At this point in my life, couldn't one have the time or energy to do it. Two, yeah, I think you need like a lot of land, a lot of resources. So anyways, I there is a woman that I follow on Instagram. I think her name is either Candace Weber or Webster. I'll link her on the AG University podcast Instagram page, but she does these incredible energy healing sessions where horses surround her clients, and she kind of does Reiki, but then the horses also step in and do whatever they want. Like they'll place their head on someone's heart chakra, or the horses are unprompted. They just heal the people in front of them. And I just think horses are so healing, and it's the coolest content that I am obsessed with right now. I want to consume it all day long. It's this horse content. I'm like, I would love to open a healing center like that to help rehab people and have horses surround them and heal them. So, anyways, that's where I'm wearing a certified horse girl hat, because that's secretly one of my bucket list dreams. I really genuinely do think that at some point in my life I will have a horse. I don't know if I'll be able to have a horse healing center. That'd be really epic. I really want to go to one first. First, I should probably go to one. I believe she's located in South Africa. So if I ever find myself in South Africa, I will be sure to hit her up. In the meantime, I've got to just find like a local barn and satisfy my horse cravings, but I'm obsessed with horses. Obviously, unicorns is our mascot. So there's just something so liberating about riding off into the sunset on a horse to me. I know not everyone will feel that way, but animals collectively are healers. Cats, dogs, be sure to give your animal a hug, because I really do believe they're placed in our lives to open our heart center and also cleanse the energy of our home. So animals are so special, whether you're a horse girly or not. But anyways, I digress. It's matching my fingernails perfectly because it's a bright orange hat and I have bright orange nails. I really wanted to go into fall mode and have a less loud nail color, but bright colors just make me so happy, especially in the wintertime, that I just had to roll with it. And the reason I'm telling you about my bright orange actually, this nail color is called Untamed. Doesn't that just feel like also the name that I should name my horse? That's my nail color. But I had the craziest, most fun, magical, synchronistic situation happen the other day that I was like, damn, this world really is so magical. You cannot convince me otherwise, and you also can't convince me that this doesn't work. And I know I talk a lot about signs on here, but I feel like this one's really, really specific. I had to call my mom. I called my sister. I came home and told Austin. I mean, I told everyone. I don't know if anyone was as excited about it as me. I almost told my therapist the other day in therapy, and I was like, you know what? This is why I have a podcast, because you guys are my people and you get excited about all the things with me. But I was like, it's just too crazy. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. So rewind back to Sunday night. I'm recording right now. It's Wednesday. Sunday night, I was on the phone with a really good friend of mine, from actually Catherine, who came on the podcast. And we just yapped on the phone for literally hours because I was waiting on Austin to come home from the airport. And she and I were catching up on all the things wedding. She had just been at my wedding and I hadn't talked to her since. So, anyways, we had lots to catch up about and talk about. And we ended up talking about the situation that I was telling her, how I was randomly stressed about a future event that may or may not happen. And it was one of those things that I'm like, it's frustrating because you have no control. And I know we've all had some thought in our life of like, oh my gosh, would that ever happen to me, or whatever, some future uncontrollable event that it's just a pesky, anxious thought. And it came into my existence and I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because I guess I haven't worried about my future in so long. Like this whole past year, I haven't really thought about my future much in a really peaceful way. Like I just trust in my journey. But alas, I have to have some thoughts of anxiety or learning pivotal moments so that I can continue to teach on AG University. So I had a thought, and say this thought's equivalent to, like, I'm not going to give you guys the whole backstory because it's like honestly irrelevant and stupid and whatever. But say the thought is equivalent to being like, I worry one day that I may have cancer or something like in 20 years. What a silly thought to have, because here's the thing. There's literally nothing you can do except potentially worry about that. Like there's really nothing you can do. Obviously, we can be healthy and take care of ourselves and be kind to ourselves and do all those things, but like there's literally no sense in worrying about something like that in the future, right? So that's just an example, and insert whatever thought you may be worrying about, because that is how this whole thing got started. And it was just such a gift that I had this little moment of worry or questioning, being like, wow, would that ever happen to me? Could I ever get myself in that situation? Feeling a moment of anxiety. And I was on the phone with Catherine and she's like, Anna Grace, you literally taught me this. Ask for a sign. Because she had just told me that she's still on the journey of dating and finding her person. And so she had been like, hey, universe, is this person meant to be in my life still? Show me a sign. And she said she received the sign at my wedding. That was kind of how we got talking about all of this and signs. And I was like, you're right. Sometimes I forget. I've gotten so cool, calm, and collected about where I'm at in my life. I like don't even ask for signs. I like forget my own methods, I guess. And so she's like, ask for a sign. So I was like, okay, I'm going to ask for a sign. And so after we hung up, I journaled, and it was the most magical evening. I was sitting outside and the stars were just so bright and the wind was blowing and the temperature was right. Just that magical fall November energy, early month, early November is what I was going to say, not early month. But anyways, get outside and look at the stars if you can. It really, sometimes I forget that we have access to this every single night. I was like, wow, made myself a cup of tea, had my little slippers on, was writing in my journal, just doing a recap of, just had a great conversation with my friend. I'm so grateful for all of my friendships in my life. And, just kind of going through my day. I just sometimes like to narrate what's going on in my life in my journals so that one day I can look back and read them and just smile as to see where I was at that point in my life. I always date them and timestamp them. I was just having a cozy evening. Like I said, Austin's flight had been super delayed. I was home alone. Zane had been out of town as well. So I'm just having myself a little evening, got my tea. I write in my journal that, universe, please show me a sign if I should not worry about this future uncontrollable event, right? It's silly. But sometimes it's just nice to have validation from the universe. You're like, girl, you are so silly. Don't even worry your pretty little head about that. And so I did. I said, if I am meant to release this immediately and not worry about it, it's not my story. How about that? Not my story. You all know I love to say that. Then show me. And here's what I did. I picked a very, very specific sign because in the past I've done animals or insects or things. In Florida, you really do see dragonflies, lizards, everything every single day. I was like, I need something really specific. I'm getting real serious about this just to continue to test my magic, like just to see what comes up. So I get so specific, and I do not know why, don't know why, but this came to my head. I said, show me a bag of Skittles. Again, I don't know. The reason I picked Skittles is because one, I work from home and we never, ever, ever, ever have candy in the house, buy candy. I haven't seen a pack of Skittles in literally years. And I just thought it was really niche that I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to just like stumble upon a pack of Skittles unless I was going to the grocery store trying to buy them, because they're just not ever in my existence. And I was like, this will be a true testament to my sign game, getting signs from the universe. And so this is Sunday night. The next day, Monday rolls around, and I always tell people to give your angels 24 to 72 hours to make a sign come into your reality. Like, give them a little time. And I really wasn't thinking about it. I was like, but I was kind of like, I actually don't know how Skittles are going to come into my existence because the grocery store doesn't count, like, because you're looking for them. I work from home, blah, blah, blah. Monday, so typically, I know I've been telling you guys, I like, we'll record on Sundays. Typically, Monday is a lesser work day for me, as much as it is of like, go to the grocery store, kind of get my life together. I always have Monday is like a half day of work. And then I always get acupuncture on Monday. And this Monday in particular, I really, really needed to get my nails done also because my nail polish was lifting. And I just stacked all of my like appointments on Monday. So that way, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I would be uninterrupted from the work and things that I needed to do. So I hit it hard. I went to the chiropractor, I had acupuncture and a nail appointment all scheduled. And my mom is coming into town tomorrow. So I was like, I need to get all my work done and be ahead and, not have all these appointments and running around by the time she gets here. So all this was pre-planned is what I'm telling you. There was no last minute add on to the appointments. Monday was my day to just knock out all my appointments and then work the rest of the week. So I go to acupuncture, go to my chiropractor. I do all the things that I need to do. I've completely forgotten about the sign and the request. And I go get my nails done at the same salon I've been going to forever, or since I've moved to this house. And I'm super tight with my nail girl. She's the best. Actually, this was the last time she did my nails because she's moving to Denver. Sad, sad side story, the details. So, anyways, I was kind of lingering as we got done talking to her and being like, am I going to see you again? All the things. And I shit you not, she pulls out a bag of Skittles. There is a huge candy jar at the front checkout and is like, do you want some candy? Gives me a bag of Skittles. I literally, they were like on display, like a big thing of, I'm going to post this picture to the AG University podcast Instagram because I couldn't believe it. I like smiled ear to ear. I literally like was like, who told you? How did you know? Because I even say this is even weirder because I've been going to this nail salon for months and months and months. I go every 4 weeks. They only ever serve RX bars and waters. And I know this because I always get a little snacky. I always get a little hungry at the nail salon. When I get my pedicure and my manicure done, you're there for a long time. I have scoped the snacks. There's never candy and there's never Skittles. This day I went. It must have been some old leftover candy from Halloween or something, but still, who has many bags of Skittles? I feel like that's a random, I mean, maybe it's not random, but usually it's like Twix or whatever, suckers. Nope, just a big old jar of Skittles. And I literally was like so giddy. It just like reignited my energy and I guess just like my faith and my trust and just knowing like, oh my gosh, I'm so silly to even worry. Like, of course, the universe has my back. And it was just kind of that reminder of like, girl, that's not your story. Don't even worry. Here's a big old bowl full of Skittles. I'm gonna post the photo as this podcast gets released next week because it was just like, I'm sorry. You might even be listening to the story. Someone out there could be like, this girl's crazy, but it was just so specific. And I texted Catherine afterwards my girlfriend I was on the phone with, and I sent her a picture and I was like, not the Skittles, like immediately within 24 hours. And that was like the only time I feel like I'd be running around outside of the house. I mean, most of the time I'm either going to the grocery store, to the gym, or home. That's really it. And the nail salon pulled through. My nail girl just pulls out a bag of Skittles, and I just like was so giddy. I couldn't stop laughing. But anyways, Catherine texted me back and she said, "Taste the rainbow, baby." I was like, "That's right, taste the rainbow, indeed." And it's funny because I felt like in the last few Akashic Records readings I've been doing for just personally for myself, the a rainbow has always come into it. And I completely forgot that Skittles had anything to do with a rainbow. So it was like one of those moments where everything just tied together. And I know these are very small details. And yeah, it could maybe feel like a silly story to someone, but to me, it was just so profound that I'm like, wow, we are really always our angels are working overtime for us. We are always guided. We are always protected. And there's always a plan. And it was just, yeah, it was such a good reminder of me to just not worry and just enjoy. And I took those Skittles and I ate them on my way home and I laughed and said, thank you. You always got to say thank you. I said, thank you to my angels. Thank you to the universe. I was just like, I felt so carefree and refreshed. So if you've been worrying about something, this is your reminder that just ask for a sign. Why not? Say a prayer. Bring in your angels because they really are. I really genuinely feel like our angels are so excited to work on our behalf and sprinkle magic into our life. And I just couldn't get over it. I immediately came home and told Austin, I was like, you'll never believe this. And he was like, he was kind of like, wow, that is like a really, really oddly specific example. It wasn't like, show me a dragonfly because like, we have tons of those. Like, I was like, I need something really random that I haven't seen. I also cannot remember the last time I saw a bag of Skittles, which was funny. Granted, I know I wasn't looking for them, but still, I just don't feel like I ever have candy or I don't know, come into contact with candy. And yeah, it was just really magical. Okay, so let me have this one. Let me have this win. And just a reminder for you to give it a try. So that's my nails are kind of giving a little Skittle energy. They're like orange Skittles. I feel like the lighting right now is not doing them justice. Also, if you are catching me on YouTube, I have a gigantic band-aid on my thumb because I just cut my thumb upstairs. But I have been in a season right now, which I wanted to remind you guys. I was thinking about this the other day that if someone were to ask me, what is the easiest way right now to regulate my nervous system without doing anything crazy, without adding more to your to-do list, I would tell them, I would say, can you just go about a few tasks that you're already doing throughout the day? And before you do the task, take a deep breath in, drop your shoulders, relax your muscles, relax your tummy muscles, kind of sink into the body and imagine yourself just going a little bit slower at this task. Whatever it is, we're not like if you're writing emails, instead of frantically writing an email as fast as you can, like what if we just took a breath? You could set a timer and do this for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just say for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to really mindfully go a little bit slower. I'm going to type out and complete sentences, or I'm going to write my notes and just be thorough, because I feel like when you focus the intention on going slower, you're bringing a lot more awareness into the body. It's also really grounding. It's bringing you back into the body. You might notice when you do tasks and you're going so fast, you look back and you like don't even remember what you were doing. You're just like on autopilot. That in a way is a little bit of sometimes, not all the times, but it can be a dysregulated behavior. Like when we drive somewhere, we don't even remember getting there. We're like, were we totally disassociating? I've done that before. So just setting a timer and saying for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be aware and I'm just going to move slowly. And even if you can't go super slow, because you're like, girl, I got to get work done. I get it. How about we just be really intentional? Just be really intentional. We just focus on our breath. We keep doing whatever we're doing, but we just move with mindfulness, with a little slowness, with a little intention, with a little bit of feeling the breath, just noticing the breath. You don't even have to stop doing what you're doing, but you just breathe. And that is the advice that I would tell someone. Like, you don't have to scrap your entire day's work to sit around and meditate. I will always tell you guys that. But if you can even just eat a meal and just focus and chew, 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 chew to completion and then swallow versus like shoveling, shoveling, shoveling. I'm guilty of that sometimes being a fast eater. And that's something that I'm like, whoa, let's all slow down. Slow down. Brushing your teeth, just having a little mindfulness, having a little presence, whatever chores that you always do, folding your clothes. Just imagine yourself making it almost like a meditation. I know we have to do our chores and we have responsibility, but sometimes I like to say, I'm going to do this task, but I'm going to make it a mindful meditation. I'm just going to focus. I'm going to bring awareness to my hands. I'm going to give gratitude that I have fingers to fold my laundry, that I have clothes to wear, that I have clean clothes, and just making any activity a mindful meditation. That's all it takes. It's just a little bit of intentionality and a little bit of narration and bringing yourself really into the present moment, because that's what it's about. It's about coming into the present moment. When we have these moments of disassociative going so fast, we're like thinking about what we need to do in a few hours and like how fast can we get there. And here's the thing, you're still going to get there. Even if you go a little bit slower, you take a few breaths and you're mindful. Like that is my best nervous system regulation, taking a few tasks and just going slow and being really intentional. And like I said, you don't have to turn this into your whole day, but just like pick something that maybe you typically don't love to do or something that you just have to do every day. And you're like, I can make this into a game. I can regulate my nervous system while I do it. I can roll my shoulders back. I can do a little, like sometimes I even just like to rock or sway with my body. I always say it's almost like you're a newborn baby and you can just rock forward. I'm doing it right now on the camera, but just kind of rock forward and sway with yourself, just like you're a little newborn baby. There's so many super gentle, easy ways that you can be really kind to yourself, because I always like to say we're headed into a slower season. We align with nature. We are one with nature. And we're allowed to go into a little bit of hibernation mode. I personally am hibernating. I told my therapist the other day, I was like, we finally moved into a new home and I've barely had any time to enjoy it with just lots going on in life. And I was like, I'm ready to nest a bit and to cook some cozy meals. And right now I have a big thing of chili going. Austin and Zane love chili too. So I've got a big old pot of chili. That's how I cut my finger, though. I was trying to open a can with a probably busted can opener. I really need to get a new one. That was where the accident came in. I thought about that. But I just thought about how I've been in such an era of romanticizing my evenings, romanticizing my day. And I also feel like that act brings you into slowness and presence, because you're like, how yummy and delicious can I make this moment? If I have 30 minutes to cook, I am going to, right now I downloaded a little Christmas audiobook. I love to go to the grocery store and cook with like an audiobook playing, just something rom-com or cheesy or silly. Right now listening to a Christmas book. I went on TikTok and searched Christmas audiobooks. But I'm really feeling Christmas this year. Some holidays I feel like I'm not, which is weird, but I also think it's a reflection of how busy you are. And which is terrible, because I love holidays. I'm a celebratory creature. I always say that. But right now, I'm like, how much can we all romanticize our life? No matter what is going on in our world, we can make our little cozy, cozy corner delicious and romantic and yummy. And even that is your own mindful meditation. Even that is magical. I will put on my little audiobook. I lit some candles. I dimmed the lights. Sometimes I'll do a little Reiki over my meals, and you can do that however that looks for you. You can bless your meals, say a prayer. I always, thank all of the plants and whatever animals were a part of the meal. And I just infuse my own energy, clearing the energy of the meals, and just really leaning into the coziness of like warmth of soup and family and the warmth of home, and really bringing that essence of romanticizing your life. Because the more that you can romanticize, this is a movie. This movie is your life, and you can make it as beautiful as you possibly can without having to physically buy a darn thing. It's all about the action. It's all about the intentionality, and it's all about the perspective. I will never get on here and tell you guys that you have to buy or do or say anything. I really believe so much is it's a mindset. And going into the holidays, imagining your life is like a little Hallmark movie. You're like, how cozy, how delicious, how can I move a little slower? Can I snuggle into my favorite warm jammies? Can I put on my little cozy slippers? I mean, lighting a candle and getting into bed and reading a good book. Are you kidding me? I've been reading the Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass series, and I'm on book like 6 or 7. I love a book about fairies. You guys know this, and magic. That's what it's about. It's a fiction fantasy book, and just really, really, really noticing and acknowledging and bringing more richness into every moment in your life. I swear it is the most healing thing you can do for your nervous system. And it really is like the romanticizing your life really goes into the fullness and richness and slowness. Those are all, I feel, the words that I am leaning into this month. And it's just really delicious. And I wanted to give you guys a couple of active mindful meditations that you can take into your life or into your day, because we can't control the outside world, but we can control our own thoughts, our own coziness of our house, the way that we treat others with kindness and love. I mean, that starts with ourself, right? How can we treat ourself with more kindness and love? Because if we are treating ourselves that way, that's just going to trickle out. It's a ripple effect. Love loves to love. And I feel that's all we can focus on is like how much love can we show ourselves and love to show other people, and allow that to continue to trickle out, blessing our food with love, showing love to our family members. It's that is, I would say, the most important thing that we can do right now. So I am officially pretty much sitting in the dark. I kind of knew the dang daylight savings. I always laugh at those memes where people are looking out the window like, "What? This is crazy!" Because we all know it happens every single year, but never ceases to shock me. So it is dark. I'm gonna go get some chili. Austin and Zane are going to be home soon. Make them some chili, and we're going to watch holiday movies. And we were actually watching It's a Pet's Life the other day. We might finish that and snuggle. And that is where I'm at this Wednesday evening of this November. I can't wait for it to get a little bit chillier here in Florida. But if you're somewhere a little chilly, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I hope you find coziness and warmth in your day, and you deserve to treat yourself with all the love in the world. And this is just a little quickie for you guys. I had to tell you the Taste the Rainbow story because it was just fun and happy. And I always want to continue to remind you guys that you can always ask for a sign and always have faith in your journey and your timeline and know you are guided. And I love you. And I'll see you guys next week. Oh, also, there are just a couple of quick announcements. We only have a few episodes left until Christmas break, because this is a university and we are all going to be off for Christmas, and we're going to be practicing what I preach and respecting the non-January 1 hustle. We're going to ease back in. So I will come back in slowly, easily, and gently into the new year as it's a little bit closer to spring. I'm never a hardcore January 1 girly. So we'll be off for Christmas break. Also, the Costa Rica trip is officially closed, and we are solely booking for Bali, June 2025. I would love to see you there. It's going to be a 7-day retreat, truly life-changing. I cannot wait. It's been selling very quickly in the last few weeks. Granted, I know the open enrollment is for a year out, but we're about 8 months out, and I think there's only 8 or 7 spots left. So it's been selling quicker than I imagined for how far away it still is. So still want to keep that in your ear holes. Can't wait to see you guys in Bali. And also, I am planning on doing a How to Read the Akashic Records sale again. I do them twice a year at my birthday, and then either cyber sales or Christmas sales. If you want to weigh in, one speaks to you more, or I'll see what's going on in the Akashic Records on that. But I also sell all of my courses. So my energetic protection courses, all of those will go on sale for some type of Cyber Monday sale or holiday sale. So just keep checking. And as always, if you want to learn about how to get an Akashic Records reading, whether it's myself or a referred reader that I will promote, it's always in my newsletter. So you can join my newsletter. It's free and I will not spam you. linked in my bio. Okay, that's everything. I love you guys. Have a great week, a great day, a great evening. I hope you do something cozy and special. Love you. Bye. As always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel so called or if it feels aligned, I would love for you to leave me a review here. I always love reading your beautiful thoughts and messages. And also you can find me at Anna Grace Newell on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I will link all of my courses, AG University course curriculum in the show notes, along with if you're interested in booking an Akashic Records reading with me. My scheduling link goes out in my newsletter. It goes out once a month and it's completely free. I would love to have you there. As always, I'm a proud professor and you get an A+ for making it all the way through the end. Love you.